The king has returned.
Yeah. Y'all know I had to give y'all some country rap tunes, right? Let's go. Yeah. This shit smooth, man. Like this. Let me talk to y'all real quick. You ain't pimping in your whip, man. Go ahead and pipe down. Show some respect when a king come around. Ever since I took the crown, haters smile, turn to frown. They ain't even got no subs, but they wanna bite my sign. Yo, I take it all in stride. I'll be honest, though it's pride. Way before I had the slab, I pushed a bucket as my ride. Used to whip on 82 before I went to Southside. I ain't had no AC, windows down, it's hot outside. Man, the car was a trap, all the bass in the trunk. You can barely hear your thoughts when you're sitting in the front. Ain't nobody try me though, ain't going out like a punk. Only time we had some mid when we was feeling at the pump. Always had a thing for speakers, candy paint rims and tweeters. Every time I play a song, I be tweaking like a geeker. I ain't touch no powder though. My father, yo, he's a preacher now. His son is doing shows, packing venues, filling bleachers like wood grain and leather. Depends on how you parry it. No matter what you push, you gotta whip it like a cherry. Your driver's seat's a throne, feeling regal as you roam. Ain't no justice in the coat, baby, you make it on your own. I said wood grain and leather. Depends on how you parry it. No matter what you push, you gotta whip it like a cherry. Your driver's seat's a throne, feeling regal as you roam. Ain't no justice in the coat, baby, you make it on your own. Now on your way up, you can't forget where you came. Hustle hard to make a name, over Trump's forever reign. See, I stayed in my lane and refrain from being lame. Everything is in fruition, spoke it all from my brain. Raised on underground kings, Master P and 3-6. If you got a muscle car, the exhaust got chrome tips. Even tuners get some love, racing tires, chrome lips. You can't have no ball tires on the road with no grip. Down south culture is a rite of passage. OG show love when you win the classic. Overall, we'll clean, but they call it nasty. About to go and cop a lack just like my pappy. Fall within your means, it ain't stunning if you gotta carry 40 grand worth of car keys in the pocket. Riding with a couple ratchets, love to pop, lock it, drop it. On my James Harden flow, blasting off Houston Rocket, huh? Wood grain and leather, depends on how you parry it. No matter what you push, you gotta whip it like a cherry. Your driver's seat's a throne, feeling regal as you roam. Ain't no justice in the coat, baby, you make it on your own. I said wood grain and leather, depends on how you parry it. No matter what you push, you gotta whip it like a cherry. Your driver's seat's a throne, feeling regal as you roam. Ain't no justice in the coat, baby, you make it on your own, huh? That's what it is. Yeah. Me and my dog at the top car, bust 'em down, tear 'em apart, find a star in old lady's yard. Old school's are my favorite car. My partner Slim bought a Subaru. When his bucket had like Groovy Q, he tuned it up like a racer do. Loud pipes will awaken you. Took the subs out of Boobie Miles. He treat the speakers like the Irish child. Flashing goals every time I smile. John Coffin want the green mile. Called the deal at Car Toys on the weekend. Young Star Boys. 212s was my choice. 1,000 watts, hear my car voice. EQ the high so you can hear the low. Aux cord for the radio. At the time I drove a Mustang, so let the trunk bang cause I ride slow. Blue and white ain't like that. If I close the trunk, the bass fight back. Hook the tweeters for the hi-hats. Like Ja Rule sound clap back. Yeah. Gorillas in the trunk trying to break.
Okay, let me get in here real quick. So I'm gonna just make everybody aware, including Twitch, that I do have permission from the man himself to play his music. What do you mean I took forever? I actually started early, so don't even. And I did it for a reason, because I know I have a long setup, so, you know, I'm the only person that's just sending the stuff out, sharing the links, making sure everyone knows that I'm going live. So I figured I start the stream with this. You know, I was between anybody on our podcast that First and Frame Rates that's streamed on Twitch. I'm the one who first started playing music before his stream started. Hi, VF. So I figured I get on here early, let everybody filter in, give everybody time to settle in. See, I'm not that like jump on at the last second type of person. I like to have everything set up, everybody come on in, you know, have some coffee, get your popcorn, you know, all that type of stuff. But before we get started, I definitely want to give a shout out to Big Zay Mac. Again, he gave me permission to use any of his songs in any of my live streams. I'm just gonna use it for the intro of the live stream, and of course I'll switch to the usual lo-fi, so that way Twitch doesn't trip. But I just wanted to make sure if there's a person watching this video on Twitch, any of you administrators or whatever, I got permission from Big Zay Mac. And again, shout out to him. Let me just shout out, you know, link you to a couple of his channels. You can find him on Twitch under Big Zay Mac 662, and you can also find him on YouTube. And I don't mean to blow a spot like this, but he needs subscribers. I got more subscribers than him. But you can find him on Big Zay Mac TV on YouTube. Again, shout out to Big Zay Mac. Big Cardinals fan, even though, didn't they take an L this past week? Okay, he knows I'm joking. But anyway, you know, we're gonna switch over now because I wanted to go with the traditional sound set that I go to. So just give me one moment and I'll unlift the veil in a little bit. I know most of y'all niggas ready to see this face, which is kind of suspect in the first place. Why would you be in a hurry to see this face in the first place? I don't know. But all right. That's enough of that. Let's get over. And I got AEW wrestling playing in the background because I definitely wanted to tune in this week, or kind of tune in. So let me get this music up, and then once we get the lo-fi in here and playing, then we can get started. So just bear with me one moment. There we go. Okay. Just gonna say I took forever. I take my time. I get on here precisely when I mean to. So for everybody that's in here, welcome to episode 8 of What the Fuck Just Happened. I'm your host. I don't have to say who I am because it says it above my head. You guys can read. I give you guys credit. Well, except for certain people. Certain people can't read and they still ask the questions anyway. So, we actually have a packed show tonight. I'm not just going to talk about what was listed, because as I was doing further research and also remembering that we definitely missed something last night. Hey, what's up? Name Villain Black is Doug. I had to make sure I remember names, but I figured that's Doug Thomas because I remember he asked, was I gonna do a show tonight? But yeah, we have a lot. So let me run through the card real quick. I feel like I'm a wrestling announcer right now, saying that I'm running through the card. But we're pretty much gonna go over Well, we're gonna start with the Veterans Day because today is Veterans Day, and let me just pull this up here. Yep, there we go. That was my squadron back at Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida. So, on Veterans Day, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about Baby Yoda because somebody needs to get him on a diet. He just be eating too much, but apparently it's got him in trouble. At least this time. Then we got, what's on tap for the PS5, because that was my plan to get a PS5. I wasn't able to take advantage of the pre-orders the first time. So tomorrow, actually in a few hours, there's one that's gonna start at 12:01 a.m. I'm not gonna do that, but Walmart's gonna have 4 opportunities to. So we'll see what the plan is there. And then we're going to talk about AEW as they're going live right now. Brian Cage and Taz are on the screen right now. So we're going to talk about AEW's announcement. So they have 3 games that they announced, and we're just going to talk about it for a little bit. And then we're going to talk about some smoking Xbox. So with that being said, Happy Veterans Day to everybody who served the country and are out doing their thing. I'm going to just make it clear. Today is Veterans Day, meaning people who served and are no longer in the service or are in some reserve unit and so on. So these are your veterans. It often gets confused with Memorial Day because I'm not dead. And I think we also have, there's one for current military members. I don't know if they call it Military Day or Armed Forces Day. I think that's what it is. That's the one I feel like it's for your currently serving members. But Veterans Day is for people like me. So, let's see what we got here as far as memories from tech school. Because one of the places that to the fella I shouted out earlier, Big Zay Mac, I was in tech school in Biloxi, Mississippi, and this is Keesler Air Force Base. This is where I did my tech school for my career. These pictures were taken back in 2001, so not all 2001 pictures are grainy. This is a 2001 picture of me. 2001. I would say around like mid-July or something like that. You see, I'm sporting the glasses. I'm like blinged up because apparently in the South, and obviously I'm the only black dude in the picture. And it's funny because I think out of all the people that are in this picture, I think 2 I actually am still friends with on Facebook. One's a cop in South Carolina, so VF, watch your back. Just letting you know. Now, I don't know what chick to the far left was thinking. She turned her head as soon as that picture was snapped. That same cop that I warned about that works in South Carolina, he's taking a sip or whatever. And so some different people in here. The person in the middle, I believe she's a Facebook friend of mine, but yeah, I believe everybody that's in this, that were in these last 2 pics are either still in some form of fashion or they're completely out. So they also deserve your thanks as well. So that being said, let's get to the controversy. Baby Yoda. So those that have not been following, Baby Yoda has been a thing on The Mandalorian since he debuted. I think it was after the first episode of season 1. So we're on season 2. So the second episode was called The Passenger. And for those that haven't seen it, kind of like a mild spoiler alert. I should have said that before I showed the picture, but pretty much. But spoiler alert here. So the second episode of season 2 of The Mandalorian, Mando is tasked of escorting a passenger who has to get her eggs fertilized. It's like a little mini frog, or if anybody's played No Man's Sky, a gek or whatever. But it was basically like a female frog. She had to get to a certain planet to have her eggs fertilized, and they were in this like container filled with these eggs, all in a liquid, like a slimy liquid or whatever. And along the way, Yoda just happens to help himself to quite I would say about 3-4 of them. Now, the eggs had to be fertilized once they got to the planet. So she was the frog character was stressing how important it was that these eggs get to that planet. And I think in exchange for her passage, she would give Mando information that would lead him to possibly the next plot point in The Mandalorian. Because he's, as of right now, the whole quest is to get Baby Yoda back to his people. I think mainly either the Jedi. Initially, we thought it was mainly his home world, Baby Yoda's home world, which nobody knows where Yoda's species. One, they don't know what his species is, and two, they don't know what planet that is. But I think they're mainly taking them back to the Jedi. So the controversy here is that Baby Yoda is just eating the unfertilized eggs of another species. This is the crux of it's the whole Baby Yoda's being genocidal. I'm sure somebody threw abortion into it. And I'm sure that people just made a big fuss about it. And you know what's funny? In this same episode, Baby Yoda also ate out of an egg of another creature whose eggs were fertilized, and literally took the spider out of the egg and ate it. But I don't think anybody was really, paying attention to that. They weren't mad at that, but they were mad over unfertilized eggs. So here's my problem with the complaints. First of all of them are bullshit. I think people need to just sit back and watch the show. It was funny as hell. Y'all need to relax. And two, y'all probably eat scrambled eggs every single day in your life. I don't know what it is with people. They see something that they do every single day portrayed by something else, and they get mad at that something else, but knowing damn well they eat scrambled eggs, they eat omelet, a vegan omelet, whatever, some type of egg. You eat it every morning, and you're complaining about Baby Yoda, who clearly has a big appetite. He's been eating everything, frogs. Well, apparently he's been eating mostly frogs. Maybe I've noticed a pattern with Baby Yoda. He likes frogs. If that creature was small enough that the female frog, if she was like hand sized, Baby Yoda would have ate her too. Pause. But yeah. So I think people need to just relax and just back off. It was funny. It and y'all eat eggs anyway, so don't give me that fake outrage bullshit and trying to cancel Baby Yoda. I thought that was it's stupid. All right, so we're gonna move right along. Like I said, we got a lot going on this show. Just want to see who's here. If anybody's here, just say so in the chat. It's also Q&A, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Ooh, excuse me. I drink some water. Alright, so we have... So what are the plans? What's the plan for tomorrow? Well, my hope is that I'm getting the PS5 digital edition. That is the plan. Now, my expectation from this plan is to just secure a pre-order. I'm not gonna fall for the okie doke or whatever thinking I'm gonna pick a console up tomorrow. There's a possibility. There's also a possibility that I may not secure a pre-order. Now, Walmart has 4 time slots that are gonna be available, that they're gonna make limited supplies available. And they're all, you have to order online only. The time slots, and these are all Eastern Standard Time, so Central, Midwest, and your Pacific time zones need to get in line. They are 12 p.m., 3 p.m. It's basically every 3 hours. 12, 3, 6, and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you're online, got your finger on the F5. Another piece of advice, make sure you have your payment information. If you have an account with Walmart, make sure you already have your payment information in there, so you can be like F5, boom, 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 and you just wait for the confirmation email. Either you get a confirmation email that you've secured a pre-order, but don't have either the console available at the moment and may get it later, or it could be one you could just be like, they'll say, hey, come pick it up, it's ready right now. Because I'm hearing, quote fingers, I'm hearing that they're keeping extra supplies just for this. You're not going to be, you should not, for Walmart specifically, they're saying that you need to order on, that you can only order one online. They will not make anyone available unless you happen to know somebody in Walmart. You can just walk in there and get one. But other than that, you're not going to be able to walk in just like Bills did as far as his Series X. So, and Newegg was the other website that I saw that is making limited supplies available. Theirs starts at midnight tonight. So at like 12:01, if you're willing to get yours delivered, or you have a Newegg store nearby or whatever, they're gonna have theirs available, limited supplies, at 12:01 Eastern Standard Time, AM. So just after midnight, F5, and then make sure you have everything straight on there and get that all in order. But my plan is Walmart and those 4 time slots. I know we're gonna be doing the podcast tomorrow, and right in the middle of the podcast, that's if I haven't secured the previous 3 time slots, if I haven't secured a pre-order by then, I will be attempting one last time during the podcast. So if you see the veil flip down, that's what I'm gonna be doing. If not, that just means that I got one secured, and I'll let you guys know what happens. So we'll see. Hopefully the sooner the better. But so far I'm seeing like good things as far as next gen is concerned. I mean, as far as like the games that people have been playing, I've been seeing like crazy, the load times are non-existent for the most part. Especially with 2K, people they hit start and they jump right into the game. That's gonna be interesting, and I wonder how it's gonna be when you transition from not just going from the play now screen to the starting screen. What if you have like the studio, you go from the startup screen to the studio to the game? I wonder if it's gonna be like boom, 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 boom. If that's the case, then I'm gonna be in for a treat, and I'll be happy to get off of current gen 2K, because I feel like they do this shit on purpose, because some of the stuff that I'm hearing that in secondhand from Bills, and I'm seeing as far as how the controls, how responsive, I feel like that we got a taste of that on current gen during the demo for 2K21. So there's some shenanigans that I still think is going on. I think a lot of this stuff, a lot of these improvements that are on the next gen, just to make it more of a different experience than current gen. I feel like some of these things could definitely be improved on current gen right now, but I would just have to worry about that on PC and I already have a spot reserved for my PS5 where it's gonna go in my living room. I already moved the PS4 to. Hey, what's up, Antonio? So let me get to the chat because let's see. Cause I know Doug was like Happy Veterans Day, and then it's reference to the PS5. Oh, he has a discount there too. So, hey Doug, are you talking about Walmart or are you talking about Newegg? I would figure you probably talking about Walmart. I know a couple. As of right now, I know a couple of people that at Walmart. Okay. And oh, did I get that right as far as how the process is gonna go? Since you, yeah, I was in the Air Force back in 2001, so this was like George Bush era. Like by the time I got in, he was already a year in, and just about months before, it was like, let's see, I got into the Air Force March of 2001, so before 9/11. So I got to experience the last moments of what America used to be like before we all became watched and scrutinized, and so that's the case. So, but Doug, did I get that right as far as how Walmart's handling it? All the orders are going to be online, and if there's extras that you guys have been able to set aside that well, then that makes 3 people I know at Walmart. Then you'll possibly be able to walk away with one by coming in and picking it up after securing the pre-order. Hopefully that is correct, because I don't want to put too much hope. I already said for myself that I'm not expecting to pick up one tomorrow. I'm expecting to secure a pre-order. So just keeping my expectations limited, so that way, I don't walk away like some of these other people that get mad and want to do shit. And we'll talk about what people have been doing with the console. Last time I checked, it was online only as far as ordering it, but I'm hearing, and I don't know what level you're at, but I'm hearing that and I read this in an article, so there may be some legitimacy to it, that Walmart is setting. Oh, I gotta find a Karen in here. So you are a manager. Cool. Then we can do business. It's like, I'm just kidding. But so what I read is that so you can probably confirm this for your Walmart, because I figured not all Walmarts are doing the exact same thing as far as. So what I read is that in certain Walmarts, they're gonna set aside a limited amount of consoles, so when people order them online, they could possibly pick up those from that from those that have been set aside for the online pre-orders for tomorrow. That's what I read. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if all Walmarts are operating under the same notion, if it's depending on which store manager and the department heads, how each store is going to run. So that's going to be interesting how that's going to work. So let me see. What the hell is this? Who the hell is this? Okay, I'm sitting here and I'm watching. I just looked back because I wanted to see who I was hearing out the. I don't know who this chick is, but that's not Brandy talking to Cody. So are we gonna see an angle? Are we about to see an angle? You getting 2K? I technically already have it. through the upgrade because I bought the 99. Wow, she got long legs. Apparently I got the $99 edition on PS4, so I technically do have 2K21 on PS5. Just a matter of securing the console. So as soon as I get the console, I'll be able to play it. And I also have other games, No Man's Sky. Trying to figure out, I'll be able to play NHL on the PS5. Trying to figure out, there's a ton of backwards compatible games. I'm not getting Assassin's Creed, so that's that. I already have Watch Dogs on PC, so I'm not double dipping on Watch Dogs. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but I'm just get back to it. But let's see. So they are setting aside some for online pickup, but on my last night working when the Xbox Series X came out, we sold to people who just walked in. Whoa. So, okay, well, I'm not gonna ask too much because I'm sure that was a decision made between like you guys. So is that actually saying that each Walmart can act accordingly based on what information is out there? Because it sounds like you guys just went ahead and just sold the. Oh, are you just talking about the Series X? Because obviously you can't do anything with the PS5 right now. We sold to people who just walked in. Okay. Hopefully, let's see. Antonio says, hopefully I'll be able to walk into the store and get a Series S. Well, I knew Brandy was coming out. That was, wow. How predictable is AEW these days? I knew this was going to become an angle. I was like, who's this black chick? So, of course, Brandy's going to come out because she's the wife of Cody Rhodes. She actually looks better than Brandy, honestly. She looks more in shape. She looks like she can knock Brandy out in a second. Probably that's going to happen. She's probably going to act like she's going to walk to the back and then cold cock her. Right there. What the hell? Really? Oh, come on, AEW. You can't be doing this on the... Whatever. Alright, so Doug is like, yes, because the other Walmarts in the Valley didn't sell the walk-ins. Okay, cool. So everybody... That brand cage was already out there. Oh my god, I'm getting Jim Cornette-ish on this already with AEW. And you know what? Since AEW's on, let's go to the next subject, because we can only talk so much about what's going on with the PS5 and plans, because those are primarily my plans. So, okay, and one last thing, Doug is like, now as far for the PS5, I think it's strictly online only. Now, as far as this is stupid. Okay, I'm gonna just go on to the next subject. So, because we're thinking about AEW, and they had a stream the other day. So, Cody Rhodes. I'm drawing a blank on the other guy that was there that announced Kenny Omega. I don't know how I forgot his name, but sometimes that happens, a blackout or whatever. But Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, Audrey Edwards, who's the referee, but she used to be a game developer, at least in the mobile sense, before she started refereeing professional wrestling. And Aubrey. So they announced 3 games. They're gonna be coming out. One's gonna be a console game, and they are aiming for current gen and next gen. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna turn out. They are also the other two games. One is called AEW Elite GM. That game is like a text booking sim where you pretty much you create your organization, or you randomly create an organization. You hire wrestlers, fire wrestlers, you book matches, you get ratings, and you pretty much try to see if you can run your organization better than Vince McMahon. And I've seen some of those text-only simulators as far as these booking simulators for wrestling, and they're pretty damn good. So I think that is going to be a good, and that is that's one of the two mobile games, because the other mobile game is called Double or Nothing, and that one is like a casino slot machine type setup. So, well, let's see. Antonio's, I think an AEW game is coming. No, it is definitely coming. They announced it. So, it's no more think. It is coming. And don't know when. We don't have a release date. I don't think we have a solid release date for any of them. But there is a release date. No, there is no release date right now. I was about to walk into that one. We do have a teaser trailer. I don't have it. I'm not going to go to the browser to play it. But there was a teaser trailer played of the console version. Now, obviously, it's a conceptual, early footage of it, not representative of the final product, is what's labeled on there. And then they played, let's see, it was basically Cody Rhodes. No. Was it Cody? No, it wasn't Cody. It was Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. Was it too? I don't even remember how it went, but I know Chris Jericho was in it looking like a refrigerator, looking like Scott Norton from the NWO NC. Okay, it was Omega and Jericho. So yeah, it was Omega and Jericho again looking like a box refrigerator. I'm telling you, I told Bills this the other night. Jericho looks like Scott Norton from WCW versus NWO Revenge. Y'all seen Scott Norton in that game? That's pretty much how they had Jericho looking. So. And in real life, he really is built like a refrigerator. I don't know. He just doesn't care about staying in shape. And Sheeta came out, and because Jericho they depicted Jericho doing the cowardly thing and like pointing and backing out of a fight, so Omega could get his ass whooped by Sheeta. So Sheeta did her finishing move, and the style that they're going for, they're targeting No Mercy, and they're targeting Fire Pro Wrestling, that type of style. And the main reason, because the game is going to be made by Ukes. And the actual person who was responsible for those games, he goes by the name of Ageta. He's going to be in charge of bringing this game to life. So you're talking about No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000, you're talking about Def Jam Vendetta, you're talking about WCW World Tour, NWO Revenge, WCW NWO Revenge, No Mercy, those games. So I definitely am pleased to know that they're going in that direction, because just seeing the early teaser trailer, you definitely get a sense that this is what we all needed as far as a wrestling game. Because you look at the 2K games, even though Ukes was still making those 2K wrestling games, it just seemed like it just was not doing the things. It wasn't like some of the old pro wrestling games, like the No Mercy games. They did have a weight system. You couldn't just pick everybody up. Like you couldn't be Rey Mysterio and pick up the Giant like you can in these 2K games. Even though in the teaser trailer, Sheeta picked Omega up for the Falcon Driver, and held him up too. I don't know if she can do that in real life, but they're not going for a total sim here. So at least they're saying that it's gonna be more like, it's because the characters even look cartoonish, but they kind of resemble their real life counterparts. So we'll see how that goes. I definitely am looking forward to a game of that nature on console. I'm not worried about the other two games. I know the hardcore purists will definitely jump into the AEW Elite GM game. I think that one would be interesting for them. The Double or Nothing, that's probably going to be for the kids. That is definitely way too casual. But since it's slot machines, I don't know what that one would be for the kids. So, and we're going through this too fast. I'm gonna need some questions from you guys in the chat, because I rolled through this way too fast. I felt like I skipped something, but I haven't. I'm actually on the final topic I was gonna bring up, because this popped up. I actually added this in at the final, like just before I even popped up this live stream, and that was the smoking Xbots. I say bots because I'm not gonna say bots, the Xbox, because here's the thing. I remember when I saw it on Twitter, I saw the picture, I saw the video originally, and I was just like, wait a minute, hold up, there's something fishy about that. So I kind of sat back and just waited to see how this was going to turn out, because I knew it was going to backfire. I knew it was going to backfire on somebody. And Lord and hope, there's like two videos of this. There's one of this, and then there's another one from a different user. But then and then another video pops up exposing both these videos. The guy is speaking Spanish the whole entire time, but you don't have to understand a word he's saying. You know, I understand a little bit of Spanish, so I picked up certain words he probably said in the middle of it. I don't know why they would do this, but you can possibly do it. And he had the vape thing, and he kind of like inhaled just to get some of the smoke, and he breathed at the bottom of it, and the smoke just came out exactly as you see here, but his was actually more pronounced, and it went up through the vents. So those two videos were fake. So let's see, Antonio, you heard of this song called? Yeah, I heard that song called "Forever My Lady" by Yoda. I remember that song. It was a good song though. So yeah. So that those two videos wound up backfiring, and also there's a silver. Did they put? They put her back with the. Wow, that AEW is on some bullshit. They actually put her back. They put her back after. Wow. Okay, never mind. But it was a silver lining from this. So this is what people would like to do in their spare time when I don't know if they hate Microsoft or they want to participate or become entrants in this console war, battle royal, or whatever. To me, there is no console war. There are only fools and niggas that don't have enough time on their hands. That have plenty of time on their hands, actually. And this is what they do. They do dumb shit. And all they did was prove this. That it works. The cooling system for the Microsoft Series X works as intended. That's all they proved. The two people who posted it. Thank you for posting the videos. You showed us how the cooling system works. It works. If none of the smoke, if you had done that and the smoke didn't pop up like that, yeah, we would have some problems. But since it did, and it did in that fashion, that lets you know that your system and a lot of people's systems are gonna work just fine when their house bursts down. They won't have to worry about it getting filled with smoke because all it'll do. Matter of fact, you can literally, if let's say your house was filled with smoke, all you had to do is take one of these boxes, turn it on, aim it out a window. You'll get rid of all your smoke. No cap. I'm telling you, Xbox will be a smoke emptier of houses. So that is. You hate it when something backfires. Like, people literally do this because they want to become viral. They want to go viral. They want to they want to clout chase. They want to sit here and post shit and be like, "Oh, my box, it's blowing up. It's smoking, and I don't know what to do." You knew exactly what you were doing. You like in the first picture I showed, the first picture I showed, you never saw the bottom. You never saw the bottom of the Xbox. Because if you did, you probably would have seen the smoke going in the bottom and exiting through the top, as you see in this display right here. You can't see all of it, but you can pretty much, the blue lines are all the airflow going in at the bottom, and then that twister up top is pretty much the air being blown out of it. So, clout chasing gone wrong. When clout chasing fails, that's all they did. That's all they did. So what I was really just looking at just now, because apparently, I don't know if anybody's familiar with Allie. She wrestles in AEW. She was in TNA Impact. And she debuted it with the Butcher and the whatever the other guy's name is, with the nickname or whatever. It was a tag team she debuted with. Well, for a while, they took her presence out from that tag team. And guess what? She is back with that tag team. She is back with that tag team. And she's going up against the people that she was with for like the whole entire. AEW, as far as continuity, they just as bad as, at least WWE is not that bad in continuity, but that's just bad. I wonder if they're gonna play it off like, oh, she played the other dude on the opposite team, like, you know, I suckered him in to get this tag team match. No. Craziness. So, what else we got going on? We got about 20 minutes. So, anybody got any questions in the chat, please raise them. I'm pretty much done with all the main stuff. I can just go right here, so I can talk to you guys, because you guys have. Okay, so Antonio says, "Oh, okay. I asked because I know some people who haven't heard of that song." Well, it definitely does depend on who you ask, because a lot of younger people probably never heard that song, especially casual listeners. There are exceptions, you know, musicians that dabble in R&B. They've come across this song. Bills has definitely heard of that song. We've never talked about it, but we may have. My memory sometimes goes on me, but he definitely would have heard of that song, even though he's a lot younger than I am. But a lot of us who are older, who went through that golden age of music as far as R&B, yeah, we definitely heard that, and then some. There's a lot of songs that, you know, that were really good, that came out during the 90s, particularly in R&B. And it's definitely not the same as it used to be. I feel like R&B music, in a way, has gone the way of the dodo bird. And only a few are even thinking about bringing... Hell, Beyonce was singing R&B. Now she does, like, trashy-ass rap verses. Like, they're really... Like, I was listening to her on the radio today. I was just like, this is what she's doing now? I'm like, that's trash. I'm like, people tune in for Beyonce not because she can rap. They tune in because she could sing and mostly dance, but sing. It's just like Jennifer Lopez. They don't go to, well, they don't pay her to act. They don't go to see her act. They don't go to see her sing. They go to see her dance because she came in as a dancer and she was a good one. So, alright, so Doug is like, Come and Talk to Me is the best song from Jodeci. I don't know. I actually like Lately, the unplugged version. The unplugged version of Lately was a good one. Let's see. Oh, here we go. The debate is about to be on in the chat. We're gonna see which. So that does raise a question. Which one? Let me see. Which Jodeci song was the best one they did? Personally, I like Lately from the unplugged version, the MTV unplugged version. I like that one the best. I didn't really care about. I'm like I remember hearing Forever My Lady, but I never really cared about it. I don't even remember any other songs they did. Hell, I'm like I was more New Edition, Boys the Men, like the East Coast Family. Let's see, Freaking You, Stay, All My Life, All Better Than those two. Okay, so that's what Bill's opinion is. Alright, so Doug comes in. I like Forever My Lady, but Come and Talk to Me was just hitting right. Okay. Like, again, I was more like, New Edition, Boys the Men, BBD, that sort of R&B. Like, Bobby Brown kind of like was half and half. Definitely a bad boy of R&B. Trying to figure out some others. Tevin Campbell had that one song. Trying to think of some others. Some people probably have a debate as far as which New Edition was best, the little kid version or the grown version, and obviously it would include different members because some people had left by the time they grew up, and I guess most of them were there when they were growing up. Alright, so Doug is like 90s R&B was just different. It definitely hit different. I'm like, it was a different tone, different pitch. It was different, and especially at the high school dance. Yeah, everybody got their rocks off at the high school dance. The dances where the teachers would come by with the ruler, like, no. You want to talk about social distancing? They really were teachers were doing that in high school, and they were doing that in middle school. I remember at one point, people got, I don't know what it was, this one middle school dance where it got so bad where the teachers were walking around with rulers that 6 inches apart. Maintain your little social distance. You could be hugged up, but you can't be touching. So Bill's this like New Jack Swing era led into that. Yeah. And it was funny because it was coinciding with gangster rap, because that's when you had like, you started off with like gangster rap and it kind of melded together with R&B, and basically that's what you got. You got gangster rap with R&B was basically New Jack Swing. Let's see, Doug is like, I remember those days. Leave the room for the Holy Ghost. Oh, so they basically had a hardcore match. Yeah, they're all bloody. This is more blood than WWE would ever allow on any show, on any multiple shows. All right, so Doug says, you think that genre could return? I don't. Not the way it's going, no. I'm like, not the way people are feeling. Ain't nobody on that there are not a lot of people that I feel like are on that path anyway. I mean, whether they're musicians, there are a few, but oh boy, here we go. Bill's gonna be the solo artist, bringing it back all by himself. Like, 10 years later, we're talking about the bad boy R&B 2.0, Joseph Royal, bringing it back as grind. So, but I honestly, overall, I don't think it's coming back in the way it was in the 90s. I think individuals can bring their form of it back to the way it was in the 90s, but not overall as a group. I think it's just too much popcorn bullshit that's being put out there because people are being manufactured. Talent is not being found, it's being manufactured these days. It seems like that's the fastest way to make money. So, alright, so Doug is like, I've been on that neo soul kick lately. Let's see, and then Bills is like, only one R&B artist is pushed at a time now, so it can't happen until there's that transcendent star. And who will, unfortunately, I would have to agree with you, because it's like a lot of the people that are, even the people who were even in hip hop, they're more behind the scenes now than they were before. So a lot of this stuff that you're seeing now is like manufactured. Like the artists that are coming up, I would say a majority of them don't have any natural talent, don't have a gift, or they do have a gift, but it's being artificially suppressed because whoever's managing them, or whoever's managing, producing, whatever, is just not allowing them to be themselves. Because a lot of these artists, if they just be themselves and do what they do naturally, what got them there, if that's what got them there, then they will be successful and actually outlive their management, their producing, and even their writers. Bills, he also says, yeah, you gotta infiltrate doing mainstream shit and then change the game. That's gotta be the plan. Yeah, and the people that were good before, they didn't completely disappear. They went underground. I'm like, for a long time, when you go underground, that's where, like, the mainstream doesn't, like, producers or whatever, they don't touch underground. They don't touch the underground. When you go underground, you get your best shit. There are a lot of talented people in the underground, but in order to be mainstream, it's like you definitely have to play the game, and it's unfortunate. A lot of people now, I think a lot of those artists that would bring back certain genres, specifically R&B, they're tired of playing the game. They see what they did to Michael Jackson. I'm like, they killed him. Because he wanted to keep his own shit. They killed Prince. All because he wanted to keep his own shit. It's like, it's my shit. Hands off. You will not stream it because I will only get pennies off of it if you stream it through whatever. I want to get paid for my work. It's mine. I created it. And look what happened. Michael Jackson dies. This was before streaming services or whatever. So that was already figured out. Prince didn't have anything on any streaming services. He dies. All of a sudden, it's all over the place. You can stream Prince to your heart's content, and it's only because he's dead. And he does. I think his property, or what do they call it? His estate gets a portion of it. But the companies, they get to pretty much just go wild with it. So who you got, Prince or Michael Jackson? Doug is like, for me it's Prince. For me it was Michael Jackson. I think Prince did certain things, but the first artist that I really the first artist that I grew up watching was Michael Jackson. The first video I saw was Thriller, the one where he's out on a date, turns into a werewolf, then becomes a zombie, and then turns into this spectacular video. And the zombies are dancing and stuff like that. You had what's his name's voice in the background. He died a while ago, but he played a lot of like the scary monsters back in the day. It was like Vincent something. Please let me know. I can't. Boy, I'm trying to remember who it was. It was. Like he played the vampires. He played the werewolf. He was the one laughing at the end, talking and narrating over the Thriller music video. His name is like right there. Are we talking preference? Ah, God. Okay, so let me get to the chat real quick. It says. I remember the video. Are we talking preference or better musician? I think right now we're just talking preference. I think that's what I was saying. For me, I prefer Michael over Prince. I'm like, if you want to talk about who's the better musician, it's definitely Prince. I think Prince definitely is the better musician. He can outperform you. He could play the piano, guitar, drums. He could do everything. There was no point of him having any. There was no point of Prince having a band. Like he could literally, he'll sing, get on, then he'll play a guitar solo, then he'll do a piano solo, and then he'll do a drum solo, and whatever. He could do it all. And he wrote his stuff. And he produced. He did everything. Michael, on the other hand, he could sing, he could dance. I don't know. I don't know what instruments he could play, but it wasn't as much as Prince. He definitely was produced. I don't know about writing. And was Prince ever a background to anybody in a song? Because Michael was definitely in the background vocals. He did a favor for Rockwell by appearing in that song, Who's Watching Me? Somebody's Watching Me. Alright, so Bills is like, I prefer Prince. He was more versatile between rock and roll, R&B, ballads, and pop. But it's hard for me not to look at it from a musical perspective, unfortunately. Which is true. That you are a musician, a vocalist. You're a musician under the classification of a vocalist. So I can see where, because I kind of feel like Michael Jackson definitely was the better singer. He was definitely the better singer. Okay, so Jericho and his refrigerator ass coming out right now. A purple sparkly refrigerator. It's Chris Jericho. Comes out as a demo guy. So, but yeah, let's see. Doug is like, don't get it twisted. I love both. I love both too. I have them both playing. Like, what I'll do is that I'll have them face off. Mike will play a song, Prince will play I'll play a song of Prince, I'll play a song of Mike's, and go back and forth. Prince did the soundtrack for Batman, the 1989 version. That was a soundtrack, especially, Prince, Purple, the Joker, it all fit. Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton, and I forgot the one that played Vicky Vale. that wound up playing in 8 Mile as Eminem's character's mother. But yeah, I would have them playing like alternating. Let's see, is a vocalist and a musician the same or no? But I needed to ask this hard question. Vocalist, no, I would say musician is the main category, and the vocalist is under that in a subcategory. That's how I would describe it. Now, let's talk to the vocalist, because Bill's was like, I would say yes. A voice is an instrument, technically, instrumentation. On another scale may be different to some. I will side to the expert on this one. I'm like, I gave my version of it, so I kind of look at it as categories of the same thing. So unfortunately, it has changed. What has it changed to? Is it changed to be like a category, or is it they went from entertainers to singers to musicians? Seems like they went from generalizing them to isolating them to generalizing them again. That's what that looks like. As far as that pattern is concerned. That's what, from what I'm reading, that's what I'm getting. In the 60s, they were entertainers, which was a broad thing. You could be an entertainer telling jokes. You could be an entertainer being a clown. You can be an entertainer by dancing, singing, playing an instrument. I think people were more tap dancers back then. Like, tap dancing was a huge thing. The last people I remember seeing tap dancing was Bill Cosby and this old dude in that tap dance off. And technically, step teams, growing up in high school, step teams were a thing in the 90s. Like, especially in college, especially at your HBCUs. Yeah. Alright, so Bill's is giving a history lesson, so let's go. In the 60s, they were entertainers. Then the 70s came around and they were musicians. Then when they release a ballad, they are called a singer. It's stupid. Oh boy, here we go. So we got MJF. Because I guess since he won this past weekend, he is now being inducted into the inner circle. So now he's doing that promo right now. I think Sammy Davis Jr. caused that. Yeah. He was also a groupie. I only say groupie because he was a part of a group. He also was solo. He did a lot of things. And, Sammy, and he was a good actor, too. So, he was definitely the pure definition of an entertainer. He did everything. He appeared in places that you wouldn't expect. His personality. And it's funny. I'm like, the main thing that as an African American, I know people have a perception of what we're supposed to look like, how we're supposed to talk, and all those other things. I know people look at, like, if I didn't have this on, like the camera, and you just heard my voice, a lot of people would think I was white just by the way I talk. Some people like to say, no, I could hear the blackness in you. I'm like, no, you probably know that because you're biased to hear. You already seen what I look like and stuff like that. But I've had a lot of people mistake. Matter of fact, short story. I think one person that I spoke with in a phone interview before I went to actually take the interview, I think in speaking with him, because of the way I spoke, he probably thought I was white. And then when I got down there, it looked like he was shocked by my appearance. Not because of what I was wearing, probably because I was black. And, there was no interview. I would never interview for that company ever again because that one guy spoiled it. I was taller than him too. So Antonio's like, you heard of Sophia Carson? No, I've never heard of Sophia Carson. Doug's like, the Rat Pack. Yep. And Bill's just like, I call him the greatest entertainer of all time. Yeah, he you want to talk about somebody who did everything? He did everything. And he also was on the edge of certain things. Like that Archie, when he was on the show, I think, what was it? It was Archie Bunker, and he kissed him. That was like he kissed him and caught him off guard, and it was just like Sammy Davis was like, gotcha. You know that. Now they got the confetti going. Oh, somebody gets like beat up in this segment. It seems like that's what's gonna happen. So what time is it? Oh, it's 9:03. Oh boy, here we go. I think this is where the turn happens. So Doug is like, I laughed my ass off when I saw that scene in All in the Family. Yep. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is gonna be a funny segment. Well, not really a funny segment. I haven't really been tuning in. I've just been watching. Somebody's gonna get jumped. Oh, guess not. I feel like there's gonna be a turn at some point. I don't think MJF is gonna stay in the inner circle for long. I think that's a whole thing that just the. Because Bills, you were telling me that. Matter of fact, there are certain members that weren't out there. Sammy Guevara wasn't out there, so I think either that or something with Sammy Guevara is gonna happen. I think that's probably what's gonna take place, because Sammy Guevara wasn't out there. I noticed that. So everybody else was out there, but that's okay. I will say this, and this probably be one of the last things I'll mention, because that first segment with Cody and whoever the tall black woman was and Brandy, I thought that I kind of saw that was coming, because when I saw the chick, and I was just like, wait a minute, that's not his wife. That would only lead to possibly a jealousy angle, and lo and behold, here comes Brandy, non-wrestling ass, coming out here, because the tall chick, she probably looks like she wrestles. Like, probably look like she could knock Brandy out. So saw that coming a mile away. But anybody got any final thoughts on the night? Anybody got any questions? Any more questions? I'm willing to stay on for as long as people have questions. I'm probably, after the stream, I'll probably jump on No Man's Sky, or actually, I'm going to play a little bit more Watch Dogs. I haven't played that in a while. And possibly just, waste time until tomorrow, 12 noon. Hopefully I can secure a console by then. But hopefully everything works out. And that's what I'm hoping happens, that everything works out. I get a next-gen console. With the small possibility of walking home with one tomorrow. I definitely, first things first, secure the pre-order, secure the package, do that first, and then let's just see what happens. Because I'm like, I could attempt to do Newegg tonight at midnight just to see how that goes, but there's not a Newegg store nearby, so I don't want it delivered, and we've already seen the warnings for especially from Target, and I was looking at it again. They actually let you know before you even order it that they can't hide what it is, so it'll come as the original package and it'll be sitting at your doorstep. PS5, Xbox Series X, and all of this heavenly glory, just ready to be robbed, taken. Once it gets on that porch, possession is 9/10 of the law. So Doug's like, I hope I get one myself. Yeah, I hope I get one too. I definitely I don't. Funny thing is, I don't need it because, like I said, this whole transition to next gen is supposed to be 2 to 3 years. That's why a lot of these games are cross generational, and at the same time being held back by the fact that it's cross generational. A lot of these games are gonna come out enhanced on PS5, but they were meant to go a little bit further. That's why I kept saying that they could have waited another year and then gotten out of this COVID situation, because it looks like we're gonna be in this COVID situation a lot longer. We're gonna be in this situation well into 2021. Hopefully these vaccines, especially from Pfizer, no thanks to Operation Warp Speed. I think that if everything works out, the vaccine will start being distributed. And again, just like the flu vaccine, it's not 100% effective. So we're already at that number. If it holds 90%, that's pretty much what the flu vaccine is, 90%. So I'm like, you still get sick when you take the. Matter of fact, I've gotten sick after taking the flu vaccine. So yeah, that's why I don't even take the flu vaccine, because the last few times I've taken it, I've gotten sick with the flu. So what the fuck? All right, Bill's got a question here. All right, I'm just patiently waiting for his question. That's funny, I had that beat like it was a Lauryn Hill beat. Oh god, I hate the fact that they're tag team champions. Okay, so far as the PS5, as he types one line at a time, could have just typed the whole question. Now we gotta wait for each line. No, I'm not looking to pick up Demon Souls. If I didn't play it the first time when it came out years ago, I'm not even really into that man playing games while he listen. Well, hopefully you missed both your free throws. How about that? But I was never into the Demon Souls game, and I think that's why I'm not getting Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed turned into Demon Souls, and that's not what I want from Assassin's Creed. I definitely want Assassin's Creed, not Demon Souls. I hate the fact that it's one giant open world. I like the fact that it's open world, but I need Assassin's Creed. I need to sneak up on people, stab them with the hidden blade. I need the cutscenes where he's talking to them and then he puts the pennies over their eyes and lays them to rest. I like those type of Assassin's Creed. So I will stick to Unity. Well, I don't even play Unity no more. That was a disaster when it came out. Assassin's Creed 1. The only one I've beaten is Part 2. The only Assassin's Creed I've beaten is Part 2. I feel like Assassin's Creed 3, and I have 3 on PC. Felt like that was the best one. It was featuring Native Americans. So, yeah, about that. So I think I'll just go back and play those Assassin's Creeds and be just fine, because it was strictly about these two and not really branching off. Even though from what I understand, Valhalla does continue, because all those Assassin's Creeds, it's still, let's see, when they went to Origins and then they did the other one with the Roman one, I forgot which one that was, and even with this one, they're still, oh, this is a spoiler alert, so I'm just gonna let you guys know, the girl who's featured in Origins, when you outer the Animus, they're still playing out her story. So I think that part is still going on. I'm just gonna continue to watch these videos on Valhalla I definitely got some God of War vibes from watching some of the sequences and stuff like that. So, other than that, I'm not gonna get it for myself. I'll just watch the videos and enjoy the story so far. All right. Anybody else got any questions? I'm about the bail here. Well, I do thank you guys for coming out. Bill, Doug Thomas, Antonio. Trying to see who else was here. You know, thank you guys for coming out and, you know, providing some life in the chat. I know there was some people probably peeking in and out. I know certain people didn't want to, you know, pop in and say something because somebody may overreact to something. But nah, just to let you guys know, everything's fine from last night. That was crazy what happened on First and Frame Rates. And while we're talking about First and Frame Rates, just to let you guys know, we do stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays around 7:45 to 8. I'm gonna just say 8 p.m. because even 7:45 is starting to not work out. So just make sure you're there by like 8 p.m. We'll probably be rolling along or just getting started at that point. So if you get there at 8 and we're rolling along, you probably didn't miss much. But around like 8 o'clock, Tuesdays and Thursdays, Eastern Standard Time, we talk about sports and sports video gaming, and just video gaming in general. And we do talk about other stuff as well. So Doug's like, I'll try to watch. I start back at work tomorrow night. So you start. Are you on a shift that's like? Do you have like 3 days on, or 4 days on, 3 days off, that type of shift, or is it like you have a set schedule, but it's just certain nights you're off and whatnot? Because I know I screwed myself on Wednesdays because of AEW, because I haven't really been watching the AEW episodes like I told myself I wanted to, because the whole continuity is just killing me right now. Damn, he threw him into the railing like it was nothing. Damn. Oh, that's I forgot who that is. They kind of have pushed him to the side. They got him with Tully Blanchard, but he's not really, you know, being featured anymore. But let's see, Doug said I usually have set schedule, but I'm on overnights this week and one more after that. Okay. So let's see. Oh, for those of you that are what is it? Okay, it's usually 5 on, 2 off. Oh, okay. So it's like that. For those of you that have you guys throughout this whole pandemic, have you guys been trying to, like, if you guys like to work out and stuff like that, train, have you guys been trying to do that throughout this pandemic when they allow the gyms to be open? I'm like, I have a slight feeling we're going to be shut back down again. I know in Maryland they just restricted the whole state as far as restaurants and bars and stuff like that have been bust down from 75% to 50% because our percentages have gone up significantly, just like everybody else in the country. So Governor Hogan actually put us in I'm calling it a modified phase 2 because we were pretty much in phase 3, but not looking to like free everything up. Let's see, Doug's like, I've been going to the park and I have a heavy bag in my backyard. That works. So you definitely get some rounds in, get your walk in. I think primary thing during this pandemic, and this is just a piece of advice that I'll leave here, is that, oh yeah, you're thinking about getting a treadmill. Yeah, because I don't know if you're in the northern part of the United States, or if you're in the southern, or if you're like in the middle, or wherever you are. Treadmill definitely is good. In the western part, okay. So for those living in colder climates, which that's being erased year by year because Maryland has not seen any significant snow in the last few years. I feel like as this planet tilts the way it does, more states in the northern portion of the country are not gonna see any significant snow. It won't get to the point where New York won't. They will always get snow. But treadmills are something to do indoors. I would recommend TRX apparatus. That you can pretty much get done most of your main body groups through TRX, and it's pretty much your own body weight. It's called suspension training. So you're basically, it's a strap it's actually, well, you can't see it, but it's actually back on my door. I have it anchored to my door, and it's basically you're holding on to the straps and you're doing different movements. Like you can do rows, you can do chest press, you can actually do crunches, you can do a lot of stuff on yoga. You can do some high impact stuff of it, but it's mainly your own body weight. That's an idea that you can put into your routine. If you want to stay home and do your workouts. And it's highly mobile. You can actually take it from your door. You can, if you travel, you can take it to the hotel room. You can take it with you while you travel. If you go to the park, you can take it to the park, hook it up. It has a different apparatus where you can hook it around a tree and tie it and secure it. So that way, as long as the branch don't fall, just make sure everything's safe. And the main thing is when you're using this, make sure that it's secure, because you don't want to slip. You don't want to be hanging from it and it just give way, because it can do that if you don't check. So I definitely recommend you look it up on Google, TRX. I think it's TRX.com. They sell them. And the one I got, it's an older model, so that could be selling pretty cheap right about now. They have the newer versions of it, but it's pretty much the same thing, just a sturdier material or whatnot. Another example is look at some of the things you do regularly and try to change how you like when you pick up stuff. Like for those that have kids, don't try to pick up kids with your back. Bend at the knees. VF, pick up your child at the knees, not with your back. A lot of bad habits. And then anybody who has issues with, like they're looking like this instead of like this, like with your arms back, head, work on rows and do it at a ratio at about like 2-to-1, 3-to-1. It really depends how bad this is, but my philosophy has always been about balance when in training. And yes, I am a certified personal trainer, so these are just words of advice as far as training is concerned. This is general advice, because obviously everyone has their own way of doing things, and I'm not going to be here and tell people what to do, but I will give some advice and some ideas, because I want people to be their better versions of themselves, be more efficient version of themselves, and in their own way. So, but as far as like this is concerned, you definitely want to get some rows in so you can even that out. So because the back muscles hold your arms back, your chest muscles bring your shoulders into the front. Kind of at this look. If you're doing a lot of chest and then you find yourself like this, and especially when you're sitting at a chair, this is another thing. Posture is very important. Some people get the backless seats, or some people sit on a Bosu ball or whatever, to try to sit straight up. In some ways, arching your back, like practicing arching your back for a stretch, is pretty good. Technically, some people prefer those apparatuses where you can hang upside down so your spine could extend out a bit, because it can I wouldn't say decompress, could expand. So where it's like, how like crack your knuckles, it's basically like the shifting of the bones, and you're pulling, which is like creating that space. So if you hang upside down, gravity is working for you instead of against you. Because when you're standing, your spine is being compressed. That's why a lot of people, when they grow old, if they were like 5'10", by the time they reach 60 or 70 years old, and they either have that hump or whatever, they're about 5'7" by the time they're done. So I think that's enough advice for, especially for free, because and that's why I kept it all general, because they say if you're good at something, you never give it away for free. And the actual advice, you're gonna have to pay me for it. So all right then, so thank you guys for coming out. This was episode 8. Did I hear Chris Paul could get traded to the Suns? Yeah, I heard Chris Paul get traded to the Suns. I heard Westbrook wants out of Houston all of a sudden. Everyone can see that one coming. One destination, they're talking about... no, Harden actually. They're talking about possible destinations for Harden. They're talking about Brooklyn, Miami, and Philly. There's 3 possible destinations for James Harden. So, and that would be crazy. That would put James Harden on any of those teams on the East would put them over the top, because they're basically what you know what that is? It's a smart bitch move. And I say it's a smart bitch move because right now the Lakers are the team in the West. You got LeBron, AD, and whoever their supporting cast is. The Warriors kind of don't have a shot in this one. And it's like the only way you're going to finally win something between Harden and Westbrook is if you head east, where you have a better shot at getting to the championship if you play in the East. But the East is not what it used to be as far as the physicality. So they can actually, it's like the East is what the West used to be, or still is. So you have 2 West Coast conferences. There's no more Eastern Conference anymore. There's no more bully basketball in the East. It's either the better West or the least East that pretends to be the West. So, but yeah, we talked about what the NBA is doing as far as their off season. It's pretty condensed. Free agent. Let's see. Draft starts first, then the signings for then the free agency period begins, and then the signage, the official signings are 2 days later, and then the training camp, and then after that, the regular season starts December 22nd. So we talked about that last night on First and Frame Rate. So I don't know what we're gonna talk about tomorrow night. We'll figure that out. So again, thank you guys for coming out. This has been episode 8 of What the Fuck Just Happened. So I am signing off. Thanks again. Peace.